senior at Walsh High School, I had a senior project to tutor third grade students in the math class. The teacher happened to be our neighbor who lived across the street, Mrs. Byers. And so for one semester, I tutored the class and I fell in love with the job. Decided to go into teaching at Kent State. My freshman year, I took a lot of courses in education and sociology, and of course, mathematics as well. I have a concentration in math. And I was interested in junior high school, 7th, 8th grade. I liked to coach. I was a good athlete in high school, ran track and cross country, and I wanted to have a job where I could teach and coach at the same time. And I got a job at the Akron Public Schools. I was substitute teaching for about 5 months in 1976. Got an interview in November of 1976. And Miss Barbara Tyler and Mr. Williamson were impressed by the fact that I went to Walsh High School after public school for 8 years, then Kent State for 5 years. I had an African-American roommate at that time who was extremely beneficial to have it while I was there. And also my grandparents lived on Beck Avenue, just a half a mile from grade school. They were impressed by the fact that I knew that neighborhood and that the kid I had as a roommate actually lived near that school and went to Bookham High School here in Akron. So I had a connection with West Akron anyway, and Mr. Williamson and Mrs. Tyler were both impressed by my education, by schooling at Walsh as well as at Kent State. The job was for a 6th grade teacher. What had happened is the counselor became ill, 6th grade teacher became the counselor. I became the teacher to replace Mr. Shore, who was the 6th grade teacher at that time. The 6th grade opening, I was there for 5 months. The school closed that June, and right now it is a used car lot. The building's torn down, but my memory of that school will always be with me. I've always loved numbers. My dad helped out in a way because he served in the Navy, and I can recall as a child, he was on the USS Enterprise in the Pacific. He used to show me maps of the Pacific Ocean, the Guam, the Philippines, Midway, and that gave me a love of geography as well as mathematics. And I've been really good at math and geography ever since. And I like history too. And I was fortunate enough to have some really good students in my class, as well as on my soccer team, coaching soccer, although I never played the game. We won multiple championships. We never lost more than 1 game per season. I also coached track, had a lot of good kids on my track teams as well. I feel fortunate to have such support from the parents. Not only were the kids nice, but I got nice parental support, which was a huge plus at the school I taught at Litchfield Middle School in West Akron. And the combination of the kids and the parents and my fellow teachers at the school, it was just a perfect fit. In high school, I did run cross country and track. I came in 13th in the state in the mile run in 1971. I'm also proud that to be from the family I'm from, my 2 sisters and my brother, especially my brother, who's no longer with us. He taught me a lot. Even though we were not twins, a lot of people thought we were as close as twins. I still miss him to this day. But I was just thankful to be born in the family I was born in and raised the way I was, and had good friends, good relatives. And my pride achievement, I guess, is that I'm still alive and kicking. I never did get married. I did have a couple of close calls. If I had to do it all over again, I might have done something different. But I'm glad the way things turned out. In fact, I've always said life is like a track meet with 3 different events. First event is the hurdles, because you all got hurdles you have to jump over. Second is the marathon race, because you last for your entire life. And third, it's like a relay race, because you hand out the baton to the next generation. And as a track coach, I love those events, because those 3 events really add up to life itself. When it comes to education, my biggest inspiration early on was Richard Averett, the principal of Gideon Junior High School. I taught there after spending 6 months at Grace Elementary School before going to Litchfield for 26 years. The 3 years at Goodyear were extremely important to me because he would get on the PA every single morning and say, good things happen at Goodyear, and these are the good things that will happen today. Quiet in the hallway, a nice lunch cafeteria time, a basketball game after school. At first it sounded corny, but after a while it really was effective because he let the kids know that he was in the house, that he would be watching them, that he cared about them. And I used his kind of mannerisms when I got on the PA to talk about my soccer team or my track team, playing a good game or having a good meet. It was always an upbeat type of attitude that he had every morning at the PA, and I just copied his example when I was a coach. So I owe a lot to Mr. Avery. My mother taught us a lot about wisdom, and my dad was about honesty. And between my mother's wisdom and my dad's honesty and all the other good things, my mother's love, my dad's sense of humor, I was just raised in a good family. And then my brother especially, I wish he was still with us. He was the type of brother who was maybe a pain in the butt when he was younger, but man, did he come through in the clutch as an adult. I just wish that he could still be with us today. I'm leaving this legacy for all of my nieces and nephews. I have 7 of them, as well as their kids, my grandnieces and my grandnephews, but in particular, the one for whom the one poem I have written called Staking a Claim. It deals with the death of my nephew. This is my nephew Carl right here, who's passed away. This is his girlfriend Jennifer. Together before they got married. They never did get married, but anyway, she had their daughter Lexi. This is Lexi. She was 10 years old here. She's now 17. And mainly this is for her. She has no father living with her. And I love my other nieces and nephews, but she's the most special. Most recent photo, this is her at the age of, 16, this was taken. And this is what it's about, is all my nieces and nephews, but Lexi especially, because she's the one without a father. You should always do your best. Be willing to help others. Don't hesitate to ask for help yourself. Celebrate your victories and learn from defeats, because we all go through the victories and defeats. And always help others the best you can. And persevere. Perseverance means a lot.